Happening now, we have the latest on a late-night fire in Chautauqua County that claimed the life of 2 family dogs. And the Buffalo Bills continue to advance in the NFL playoffs after hanging on for a close victory over the Miami Dolphins Sunday. Plus, today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a look at how New York is remembering the civil rights icon.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, 2 family dogs died during a late-night fire in Westfield on Sunday. At around 9:30 last night, the Westfield Fire Department, along with several other agencies for mutual aid, responded to a residential structure fire at 6904 Sherman Westfield Road. After extinguishing flames, the county fire investigation team was called to determine the fire's cause and origin. An investigation found that the fire was accidental in nature, caused by a malfunctioning rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Luckily, no one was injured as a result of the fire. However, 2 dogs were found deceased inside of the residence. And 2 young people face several charges after police allegedly busted them with a stolen vehicle and methamphetamine on Sunday in Jamestown. At around 6:30 in the evening, officers with Jamestown Police pulled over 25-year-old Jordan Thayer and 22-year-old Cassandra Wick in the area of Forest Avenue and Locust Street. Following an investigation, Thayer, the vehicle's driver, was found to have a revoked New York State driver's license. Furthermore, the vehicle was reported stolen from a residence in the town of Ellicott. In addition to stolen property charges related to the alleged vehicle theft, both Thayer was additionally charged with drug possession after police said they discovered methamphetamine in that car. Well, the Buffalo Bills are continuing to advance in the NFL playoffs, hanging on for a 31 wild card victory against the Miami Dolphins in Orchard Park on Sunday. Erie News Now's John Leidick recaps the game action for us.
Day 2 of the wild card weekend in the books, and the center stage started in Western New York. Let's head to round 3 between the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins and the AFC wild card round from Highmark Stadium. It's the Bills going big to start things off. It's Josh Allen deep 54 yards later with Stephon Diggs catch it and setting it up at the goal line. And that's where we find Dawson Knox from Allen. 5th straight game with a receiving touchdown for Knox and a 7-0 Buffalo lead after a Skylar Thompson interception. To the ground we go next time into the red zone. James Cooks, 12 yards. Buffalo was up 17-0 early in the second. After a trio of Dolphins field goals, it's Allen with a miscue. He tries to find Cole Beasley, tipped, batted to Javon Holland, and intercepted going the other way. That sets up the Dolphins. Thompson connecting with his tight end, Mike Gesicki out of Penn State, the 7-yard score, 2-point conversion, good. Buffalo gets a field goal before the half to lead 2017. Start the third quarter, and as a Dolphin blitz, Allen fumbles, Zach Seiler picks it up and in for the score. Miami with its first lead, 24-20. Bills force a turnover on the other end and then march down the field. Beasley reels it in this time, 27-24 Buffalo. Then it's Gabe Davis on the touchdown reception. Last year's AFC divisional round hero, reeling this one in. Bills by 10. Dolphins not going away easily in this one on the afternoon. Jeff Wilson Jr. diving in for 6, and we've got a 3-point ball game. After the Bills punt, one last opportunity for Miami to tie it or win it. 4th down and 6. Skylar Thompson scrambling, but the pass falls incomplete. Buffalo is off to the divisional round. They'll get Cincinnati next Sunday at 3 on WSEE.
All right, John, thank you. The Buffalo Bills, as he mentioned, going to be hosting the Bengals next Sunday at 3 o'clock. And Bills safety Damar Hamlin visited the team's facility at Orchard Park over the weekend, just before the game. Various players and team relatives posted on social media about this visit Saturday. The 24-year-old was discharged from Buffalo General Medical Center on Wednesday. That was after spending more than a week hospitalized due to suffering an on-field cardiac arrest during the road game against the Cincinnati Bengals on January 2nd. Hamlin was initially hospitalized in Cincinnati, but was transferred to a Buffalo facility on Monday after doctors determined his critical condition had improved enough for the move. Really incredible to see how quickly he has come in such a short amount of time. Well, now let's switch gears and get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Andrew Stevenson joining us live today with a look over Chautauqua Lake. And Andrew, the sunshine out there today, a little deceiving because it looks warm and sunny, but it's sunny and still kind of chilly for some this morning.
Yeah, it looks warm out there. It was a chilly start to the morning, but we should rebound nicely into the rest of the afternoon. A live look over Chautauqua Lake shows those mostly sunny skies and a mainly frozen lake out there. First defense Doppler radar, not much happening out there right now. Clear skies across the region. Pay no attention to those little blue blobs on there. Just wind farms in Chautauqua County and some birds over Lake Erie. So not much happening out there today. The high yesterday was 34 degrees. The low was 17. The record high for today was 57, set back in 1991, and the record low for today was negative 18, set back in 1986. For the rest of the afternoon out there, partly the mostly sunny skies. Enjoy the sunshine out there because the sun goes away tomorrow pretty much for the rest of the week. Highs today will range from the mid to upper 30s to lower 40s across the region. Now we have some more rain and snow on the way, and I'll have those forecast details coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, we'll look forward to seeing you back in a bit. Thank you. As we continue, why COVID vaccine rules for nurses may soon be going away here in the Empire State. And we're breaking down more of Governor Hochul's State of the State address. How serious is she about reforming bail reform? Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, Channel 716.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all desktop and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The cost of inflation is taking a toll on families even outside of the grocery store. As Erie News Now's Tom Kowalski reports, while childhood sports may be a great way to get kids exercising and socializing, for parents, it can put a strain on their wallets.
While kids might enjoy playing sports to make friends and stay active, for parents, many sports can put a real strain on their wallets. And with seemingly everything going up in price these days, can parents manage this small fortune each year? For Adam Hosterman and his kid, who are visiting from Buffalo for the MLK Hockey Cup, the costs add up.
So the season fees are probably about $1,500, and then you have equipment on top of that too. So skates, pads, jerseys, all that stuff. So depending on what they may need, another couple $100, so upwards $300-400 total. And then depending on the amount of tournaments and where we go during the year, that may add on a couple $100 too. So all in, probably about $2,500.
But for some parents, like gymnastics mom Rachel Still, helping the team is literally its own reward.
I will say that our booster club does a fantastic job of providing us a great meet here to help defray many of the costs that we incur as a family. That's why we're here working. That's why we're here volunteering. This event brings in a huge portion of our revenue as a team, and it allows us to cover some of our fees for going to meets and things like that, and that really helps us out.
But both parents agree. The overall cost is worth it.
The number of hours my child is there in their care versus what they charge me really balances out. And they're teaching my kid a lot of discipline and a lot of other things in addition to gymnastics on top of it.
It's not something I expect him to go pro in, but he's made great friends in the team. We love the coach, we love the families. Really developed, himself as far as being a leader, great skill set, and just being athletic. Not sitting and playing video games all day too.
Tom Kowalski, WNY News Now.
Tom, thank you. The New York State Department of Health is exploring its options after a state Supreme Court judge struck down a statewide mandate requiring healthcare workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Judge Gerard Neary wrote in a ruling released Friday that Governor Kathy Hochul and the Health Department overstepped their authority by mandating a vaccine that's not included in the state public health law, saying the mandate is, quote, null, void, and of no effect. He sided with medical professionals for informed consent, a group of medical workers impacted by vaccine mandates. Well, Governor Kathy Hochul, in her State of the State address, promised to take a look at reforming public safety and bail reform through policy that would allow judges to exercise further discretion to set bail. In 2019, changes to bail reform provided that after a qualifying offense, the least restrictive standard is the only standard left for judges to use to set bail for individuals. Tori Jordan, a Washington County District Attorney, says the standard has been troublesome for judges. Hochul's bail reform proposal intends to eliminate this going forward.
What we have found and what we've seen and experienced tells us is the least restrictive means measure as the threshold determination about release status has eliminated and stripped away from judges the ability to use their discretion.
Now, the details of Hochul's bail reform proposals will likely be hammered out in her executive budget, which is due by April 1st. After she presents the executive budget, lawmakers will then conduct a series of hearings on topics like bail reform and then vote on resolutions. Well, every year, the Pennsylvania Farm Show has a different theme that represents the significance of the agricultural industry. Brendan Scanlon takes us inside the Farm Show complex and tells us more about the significance of what was this year's theme.
It may not be a margarine masterpiece, but this breathtaking butter is a top attraction at the Farm Show. Engraved at the bottom is the theme for this year, Rooted in Progress. The theme has its own special meaning to many farmers across the Commonwealth. For Haley and Stephanie Painter of Tioga County, it means
the past, the present, and the future. And that means we have to be growing and expanding, working with our community, our soil, our environment.
The fourth-generation dairy farming sisters are the co-founders of Painterland Sisters Organic Yogurt.
Is an organic Icelandic-style skyr yogurt.
We launched in March of 2022, and as of now, we're in over 1,000 stores nationwide.
For others, Rooted in Progress is about sharing and teaching the ins and outs of their passion, which for Charlie Voracek is beekeeping.
It helps them appreciate what the work goes into it.
And what better way to do just that other than a friendly honey extraction competition.
So from the hive all the way into the jar and get the labels on straight and fill it correctly.
This competition featured lawmakers and law enforcement.
Events like this are really fun because it's another fun way to connect with the community and to show everyone that in the end we're people too.
In the extraction, the defending champs fell just short.
State police were the winners last year coming in. They had the experience, but they got a little slow start.
Giant did end up beating us this year. We knew from last year, though, that slow and steady won. So we went with that approach again this year, but it just wasn't enough.
Whether it's a friendly competition, strengthening a family legacy, or getting up close with the animals, everyone can celebrate Pennsylvania agriculture and its deep roots at the Farm Show. In Harrisburg, Brendan Scanlon reporting.
All right, Brendan, thank you. Coming up, the latest on a close call between two airplanes at one of New York's biggest airport. And later on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we explain how New York State is remembering the civil rights icon. But first, Andrew has a full look at our weather.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
Please, give us some room.
Slow down. Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please,
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
15-year-old Yadiel Diaz was subject to a public humiliation stunt by a fellow student in an act of violence and bullying. Now Yadiel's mother, Raquel, has had enough.
Officials are trying to work with the county's homeless coalition to help support the homeless population locally. There are also plans in the works to build 2 new shelters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now at noon. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under mostly sunny skies. The temperature 34 degrees at the Jamestown Airport as of noon with a south wind of 5 miles per hour, and it feels like 29 degrees out there. Here's the NOAA 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, which continues to show slightly above average temperatures as we head into the final week of January. But as you look off to our west, it looks like some colder air is approaching as we head into the first week of February. We will see if that pans out. Across the northeast right now, high pressure to our south. That's keeping the weather dry across much of the northeast. Our next system is off to the west. That's going to bring in some rain showers and some wet snow late tonight and into tomorrow. So let's time it out on future look. Future scan shows partly to mostly sunny skies to the rest of the afternoon out there, so get outside and enjoy that sunshine. As we head into tonight, that low pressure system that's going to approach the region will bring some rain to the region tonight, maybe mixing with some wet snow showers as we head through the early morning hours tomorrow. Then for tomorrow, mainly cloudy with mainly rain showers to the rest of the afternoon tomorrow, and then into tomorrow night we will have a chance of rain and wet snow showers heading into Wednesday morning. So for tonight, the clouds will be on the increase. Again, the rain and wet snow showers will arrive after 12 o'clock tonight with a south wind of 3 to 5 miles per hour. Temperatures tonight in the low to mid 30s across the region. And now the next 7 days, temperatures low 40s today, low 40s tomorrow, upper 30s on Wednesday, but we will have a chance for rain and snow showers each day. Mainly rain showers on Thursday with temperatures in the lower 40s. And as we head into Friday, cooler air returns with a chance for some snow showers on Friday. And as of right now, the weekend is looking fairly dry with temperatures in the low to mid 30s.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Well, let's get some headlines now from around the nation. And the House Judiciary Committee chairman has announced an investigation into the Justice Department's actions related to President Biden's handling of classified documents. Republican Congressman Jim Jordan sent a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland. In it, he says the circumstances surrounding the appointment of a special counsel raises fundamental oversight questions. his committee routinely handles. Jordan is demanding the Justice Department turn over a variety of documents, including all communications related to the appointment of a special counsel. The letter sets a deadline of January 27th for the Justice Department to provide the requested documents. An initial batch of 10 classified documents were discovered in November at a former private office of President Joe Biden, who at the time was vice president. Then another set of classified documents were found at his Wilmington home. Garland appointed a special counsel last Thursday. Well, Ukraine's military is shutting down claims that Russia captured an eastern Ukrainian town. Ukrainian officials say the fighting is still ongoing there, but overall, experts believe the conflict will continue for a while. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp spoke with a private security group about the war and what they think could play out.
I think that Ukraine has been making great strides.
Susan Cho is the director of intelligence with the private security firm Hyperion Services. They specialize in high-risk security protection and private hostage rescues around the world.
All right, slow.
Executing missions in Afghanistan, Africa, and even in Ukraine during the Russian invasion.
At the beginning, we've been doing a lot of evacuations. People from, just various different entities. They could be corporations, could be families. There's actually a lot of industry in Ukraine that a lot of people don't realize. There's a lot of Western industry in Ukraine. So there's just a lot of requests for getting people out safely. And a lot of people have medical conditions and such. But even in an evacuation, in a combat situation, something as unusual as Ukraine, it's pretty much combat.
Next month will mark 1 year since the invasion. Cho believes the war will continue for a while and speculates there could possibly be a regime change in Russia.
It's unclear whether Putin will remain in power, whether that's by his own personal health issues that people are speculating, maybe he's got terminal cancer, whatever those issues are, or if he gets deposed by somebody else who wants to take over.
Cho believes the Russian regime could become more brazen with their attacks.
I don't think that people are realizing how volatile it can really be at any given moment.
In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating a close call that happened on a runway at JFK Airport in New York. A Delta flight had to abandon its takeoff Friday because an American Airlines flight was taxiing on the same runway. Reports indicate the Delta plane came within 1,000 feet of the American Airlines jet. New audio recordings show the quick actions of an air traffic controller, which avoided a potential crash. No one was hurt in the incident. Delta says its flight was bound for San Domingo in the Dominican Republic and had 151 passengers and crew on board. The flight returned to the gate and then could not leave because of staffing issues. The flight ended up leaving Saturday morning. The American Airlines plane reportedly was bound for London and arrived on Saturday. Well, next today is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We show you how New York State is remembering the civil rights icon.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
Police and other local law enforcement agencies are looking for the person responsible for a shooting.
One of the benefits of this new feature is it not only works with the newer parking meters that the city's been rolling out, but these traditional meters as well.
From muddy trails to slick cliff edges to structures that have fallen into disrepair, these are just some of the problems that this park faces.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job.
I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working.
I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and here in New York, we're remembering the civil rights icon. Our New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein talks to the New York State's Office of General Services about the history of a Capitol Memorial celebration.
Since 2004, New York State Capitol celebrates the life of Martin Luther King Jr. through an artistic program and community initiatives, including a volunteer fair, a children's art gallery, and book and food drives. Office of General Services Commissioner Jeanette Moy says it is an honor to share Martin Luther King's memory through a partnership with PBS and the State Education Department.
His impact on our communities, on our families, on the way that we learn, those that we interact with, what our day-to-day civic life looks like is really profound.
The artistic program includes art, dance, and spoken word performances. The program was held in person in the Empire State Plaza for 16 years. Then when the pandemic hit in 2020, the program was reimagined and made into a statewide PBS broadcast in 2021. Moy says the broadcast helps the program reach people statewide. They plan to continue the virtual memorial, but this year they will have their first in-person event in 3 years, a red carpet premiere previewing the broadcast. And in addition to the performance, every year the Office of General Services runs a statewide book drive, starting on February 20th and ending on April 21st. This year's theme is multiculturalism.
Now, all books are great, and I think that was part of his, the emphasis that Dr. King had for all of us, is that, you need to begin with literacy, with education, with a strong sense of community.
Since the book drive started in 2004, the Office of General Services has raised 402,000 books. Moy says they plan for the memorial and the community initiatives all year, but to her, celebrating Martin Luther King Jr.'s memory is more than just part of her job.
My life would not have been possible in the way that it is because of Dr. Martin Luther King.
She says Dr. King's fight against segregation was an inspiration.
It changed my education, it changed the composition of my family, it changed the composition of the people who surround me.
In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
All right, Elise, thank you very much. And yeah, such an important day when you look at a civil rights icon who has had such a big impact on America and our history. And I think bringing us to where we are today, right, where we're able to accept everybody no matter who they are or what they believe in or what they feel, is important. And I think when you look at it, it goes way beyond just race too, right? Just accepting people for who they are, and you might not agree with them, but at the end of the day, you can agree that you want to have a respectful life and you want to be respected. And I think that's one important thing where today it's a little difficult to do in today's world, especially politically. A lot of people don't want to hear from other ideas. And I think that's important, that we have to be able to respect one another. And you look at Dr. King and what he has done and continues to do, and it lives on so many years later. It's remarkable. And not just here in New York, of course, but across the nation, and I think the world even, which is important. So, but and a lot of people too, they maybe have the day off today, and another aspect of it is trying to understand why you're off or why the banks are closed. It's not just a freebie day, which is important, nevertheless.
Everyone has a day off except for us.
Yes, except for us.
The news goes on.
The news goes on, which is always a pleasure to bring to you by any means. I'm going to go get some lunch after this. I don't know about you, Andrew.
Where's that Tim Hortons we were asking for last week?
Yeah, that is going to do it for us today. We'll leave you with this live look outside of our studio here in downtown Jamestown. News 24/7 at WNY News Now.